Right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings be unto the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. Alright? Now, this is going to be an in-transit video, Lord willing. It'll be edifying unto you brothers out there and few sisters listening and also learning. And, really, this is going to be somewhat of a exhortational video, okay, to the hopeful elect that are listening, learning, laboring in this truth. All right, in the sincere hopes of being delivered, because that's what it's all about. Is being, Lord willing, favored of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and hopefully, we have a seat on that chariot, or if we have to die, all right, because the scriptures tell us that some shall be beheaded, all right, for a witness in this truth. And if that's the case, Lord willing, if we be of the elect, we come back with Yahweh Shai upon his glorious return. Okay, that's what it's all about. And we're in a time where these prophecies, the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is showing to be true. Our faith is being confirmed, as I always say, in these last days. So our hope, more than anything, in these last days, should well indeed be increased. Okay, because the things that we're saying are coming to pass. Okay, prophecy is being played out and played into reality in these last days. So we're in a beautiful position, okay, because we've made the right investment. Okay, we've made the right investment in dedicating ourselves into pushing Yahweh Shai in these last days and ushering in his glorious coming. We've made the right decision. We've made the right investment in these last days. Okay, when you make an investment into something, okay, your hope is that your investment, brings you profit, when it's all said and done. And we're seeing the signs that the investment that we've made, in form of our, flesh, being living sacrifices, in form of our time, in form of our, mental dedication, is all coming to pass. Okay, the sacrifices are coming to pass, man. Okay, dedicating, yourself to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, doing these videos, going out there on the highways and the byways, is paying off. Okay, the scriptures talk about, your treasures laid up in heaven. Okay, every time, you add to the ministry, all right, in a positive way, you sacrifice your time, all right, you sacrifice, study time, going out there on the highways and the byways, holy conversation, okay, charity, all of these things add to your spiritual bank account that is your treasures in heaven. Okay, don't think that the things that you do, in the truth, just go unnoticed. The Lord sees and the Lord is going to reward you. Okay, the things that you do in secret, the Lord is going to reward you openly. Okay, and the ultimate reward is going to be, when we're in the kingdom. Okay, you're going to receive a reward. You're going to receive a crown, from Yahweh Shai, man. Not a corruptible crown, an everlasting, eternal crown. Okay, for standing stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Remember that. Let that be your motivation, when you're doing the work. Okay, when you're laboring, when you're catching hell. Okay, when you're suffering, all right, you're suffering for a good cause. You're suffering for an eternal weight of glory, as it tells us, in the scriptures, man. Okay, so none of our works are going to go in vain. Putting your hand to the plow, and enduring unto the end, that's not going to go in vain, man. There's going to be a heavy reward for the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in these last days, man. Okay, best believe that, these words are not falling upon deaf ears. Best believe that your prayers, are not falling upon deaf ears. And the Apocrypha, I believe it is, it says how, the prayer of the humble, pierceth the clouds. So the Lord hears our cries, man. Okay, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he hears our cries. He hears, our moaning, and our groanings, in the flesh. Okay, he hears, our spirit, yearning for salvation. Okay, and the Lord is going to deliver. We just have to be patient. Okay, and patience is definitely, a quality that you have to possess, being, of the hopeful elect. All right, because everything happens in the Lord's time. All right, everything happens in Yahweh Shem Yahushai's time and not our own time. Okay, but you see how, the Lord is accelerating, time. These days and these weeks and these months are going by so quickly, it's unbelievable, man. Okay, we're already at the point where January is nearly over. We're already in 2026, the year of apostates, sellouts, agents, and of course Jacob's trouble, Jacob's trouble. And we're about to head into February already. Next thing you know, we're going to be taking part, Lord willing, in the the Pesach, all right, the Passover already. Okay, so there's no doubt that the Lord is shortening the time for the sake of the elect. Okay, and that's mercy. Okay, there's no way you can say that, time is going by at the same pace the way it was, let's say 10 years ago or 15 years ago. No, the Lord is, accelerated time in a major way. Okay, and that's heavy. All right, and that in itself, is prophecy coming to pass, man, because that's in the scriptures, man. Because it tells us that, if the Lord didn't, shorten the time, then there'll be no flesh to be saved, man. Because this devil, is going all out in wickedness. This devil is going all out, in, pushing this New World Order system, which we're down for. All right, we're down for the New World Order system being pushed. Yeah, it's wicked, okay, and it's a necessary evil, but what does it mean? It means it ticks the boxes, of prophecy, man. It means that we're that much closer to enjoying and entering into, the kingdom of heaven, man. So yeah, we're down, for the MOTB being pushed. We're down for this New World Order system, being pushed. We're down for all of that, man. And we want it to come to pass ASAP. Okay? We're down for this New World Order system to come to pass ASAP. All right? Because we want to enter into the kingdom. It means that the Lord, is closer to manifesting, his second return, his second coming. So yeah, we're down for, the judgment, the destruction, okay, the third woe, which is World War III. We're down for all of these things because we know that it means that the Lord is that much closer to his appearing. Okay, so again, hey, this is a video of exhortation. Okay, we gotta keep pushing. All right, we gotta keep pushing. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we gotta keep pushing his return. Okay, we gotta keep doing these videos. Okay, according to the portion of the spirit that Yahweh Shem Yahushai bestowed upon you. All right, keep pushing. All right, keep studying, keep reading, and fueling your spirit with these words, man, because it keeps us going. All right, you have to keep, changing your oil, so to speak, man. Just like when you have a car, you have to keep changing the oil to keep the rest of the car and the components of the car in check and in order to keep it running smoothly. So we have to constantly, fuel our spirit, with the scriptures, man. Keep reading, upon the, the acts and, the things that happened unto our forefathers, the trials, the tribulations. Keep fueling yourself with the Holy Spirit, man. All right, keep topping up your tank. Okay, the scriptures speak about, the foolish virgins, man. All right, so we got to keep fueling ourselves, all right, in the spirit, and keep fellowshipping. Okay, the scriptures speak about holy conversation. The scriptures speak about being occupied in prophecy. All right, in Sirach, the 39th chapter. Okay, which us here at Great Millstone, you can't say that we're not occupied in prophecy. All right, we're always talking about prophecy. We're always talking about prophecies that are about to come to pass. The MOTB, World War III, Yaakov's trouble. We're always on that, man, because that's the spirit of Yahweh Shai. As the scriptures tell us, you know, the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, man. So if you're not in that spirit, then you're not in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? So with that, you know, Lord willing, this brief lesson was edifying, and until next time, I'll say shalom.